Tom Horn is back with us today with a brand new book. And Chris Putman.
Yes. Chris.
Together again.
Yes.
It's On the Path of the Immortals. Now that sounds intriguing right there, Tom.
But I think we're on the same path that they are at the Cern Collider. They want to make contact with the immortals. We're kind of warning that the Earth is going to make contact with them, and it's not going to be pretty. This thing will be revving up to the most powerful experiments ever conducted on the face of the Earth. They are literally going to accelerate hundreds of millions of protons inside of the tubes that you can see there behind us to just beneath the speed of light. Then they're going to compress them down to a human hair's width, and they're going to collide as many as 600 million particles per second. This has never happened on Earth before, unless maybe it was when God spoke and brought all these particles together the first time around. So, yeah, there are some physicists concerned. There's been fears that we might open up some kind of a black hole, and yet that's actually kind of what they want to do, and we can talk about that during the program. They want to open a black hole, and they want to see if they can send gravitons through it to communicate with the other side. The Higgs boson, the God particle that Zach mentioned, is one of the particles they're looking for. They're looking for quarks. They're looking for gravitons. They want to know, how did God put this all together, and can we take it apart? The Shiva deity that they've got, right outside the main offices there at Cern.
Right.
That's what it does. It does the cosmic dance that discombobulates the world at the atomic level.
Tom?
Well, the government of India actually gave that as a gift to Cern because they already were working with Cern. But what's inscribed on the plaque beneath it is equally important, where it is called, "O Omnipresent." This is the replacement of Jehovah. There's the picture, but there's the...
No. There is no other God.
Well, they think there is.
The scientific work that they're doing is legitimate. They're trying to break down what makes up an atom, and they get smaller and smaller. What happens, though, is the smaller they get, the weirder things get. And just to put it really simply, what Einstein discovered and what they're discovering the smaller they get is that human consciousness, the observer, affects reality. So some of these things, it looks like a wave, okay? Sometimes it looks like a bullet, like a particle. Now, it's actually both until somebody looks at it. When you look at it, it actually determines what state it's in, which is really odd given, an atheistic world. That wouldn't make any sense. Why would your mind have any effect over reality? So they're actually proving our worldview through their atheistic mindset, whether they realize it or not, because they're proving that human consciousness, our soul, our essence, actually affects physical reality in a way that we really don't understand at all.
There's a documentary, you can go online. It was put together by some of the CERN physicists and other physicists. It's called The World of String Theory, the Theory of Everything. But when you watch that online, fast forward it to 33 minutes. Anybody that knows anything about the Freemasons would know that that number 33 is really an important marker in the film, right? But fast forward it to 33 minutes and listen to them start describing how they're going to open these black holes. They're going to try to find gravitons, which is the particle they think gravity is made out of. But the point is, some of their early experiments showed gravitons disappearing, and they think into a parallel universe. Now they're going to do it again, and this time they're going to try to track what's happening with these gravitons and where they're going. But when you watch that documentary, here's where it gets interesting and even supernatural. They say if gravitons are escaping into a parallel universe, then gravitons might be a tool that we can use to send a communication through into the other universe to say, we're here, come and talk to us. And then they said maybe something would be sent back through to us. In fact, the director at Cern, we put this on the back of our book, the director at Cern said the Large Hadron Collider could open a doorway to an extra dimension, and out of this door might come something, or we might send something through it. That's Sergio. He's telling you exactly what they intend to use that machine for. That's what they're trying to do. Verify a parallel reality.
Now,
the word Babylon, it translates as a gateway to heaven. So it's not just like a tower. Some people might even say it was a staircase, but really it seems to me something more along the lines of a portal to an extra dimensional reality. So we're thinking, we live in three dimensions that we see, and they would say the fourth dimension is time. Perhaps there are other three-dimensional, they call them brain worlds. So this would be a membrane that we're on. There's another membrane, which is entirely another three-dimensional universe apart from ours. But gravity communicates between them. That's why they're using gravitons as the method of detection.
Dr. Mose is the Navajo Nation's third-generation medicine man and oral historian. And so partly what happened, Jim, was we had gone up to Mount Graham. You know, the whole Exo Vaticana, the last time we were on your show talking about that. One of the pieces of technology inside the large binocular telescope is called the Lucifer. What happened was we came down from Mount Graham, right? After going up there to talk to the Pope's astronomers and ask them why they're studying some object in deep space that's approaching the Earth that Jesuit Malachi Martin had talked about. So we did all that, right?
There's something approaching the Earth.
Yeah. So we come down off the mountain and we send our book to the typesetter and it's off to the printer and we think, well, okay, we've solved the mystery, right, of what's going on in Mount Graham. And then we get contacted by the Apache by a member of the Apache Nation who wants us to know that he heard us on the radio, he saw us on TV, and we have missed probably the biggest piece of the puzzle. And we're like, well, what is that? And he says the reason that the Apache joined the environmentalists to sue the Vatican and to sue NASA and to try to keep them from getting up on the top of that mountain is because Mount Graham is one of the 4 holiest mountains in the world for all American indigenous tribes, not just the Apache. And it is, Jim, because it is a portal. It is a doorway. It is a gateway. It is a strategic location on Earth where, since the beginning of time, entities have come in and out of this reality. Well, when he told me that, we went and vetted the story to make sure that was true, and it is. And then, boy, the conspiracy lights went off in our head about now why did the Vatican and NASA want that mountain in particular? Why go through a federal lawsuit? Why not just go to another mountain that'd give you the same elevation, right? Yeah. Why go through this whole lawsuit? You got to get the governor of the state of Arizona has to go to bat for you. And then their own Jesuit says they went there because they're watching something that is approaching the Earth.